on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome, yes, finally, to episode number 2 of the New York Yankees Legends Fantasy Draft Rebuild here on MLB The Show 21. That is right. I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this series has taken so long to get episode number 2 out from when episode number 1 came out. But I'll tell you the story, okay? It's a sad, sad story of what happened. So, basically, when I finished the fantasy draft and when I finished recording that first video that you saw that went up on the channel, I said at the end of that video that I was going to start doing some trades, see if I could make some moves happen, get some fresh players in here that I liked more than the guys that I drafted. And I attempted to do that. But what I didn't realize was having ignore budgets off and having the salary on when you are dealing with legend players along with regular MLB players is not the move. It is not the move at all in MLB The Show, because almost all legend players have $31 million salary for 1 year. That's their generic contract that they have in a season. So for year number 1, salary cap is basically just screwed. So from the start, this series was doomed, and I didn't realize that. So what I did, this is how dedicated I am to the channel and to you guys and to this series, is I went in, I recorded every roster. I took notes of every roster, every single player. Well, not every single player. The top players, and then some of the bench players down to like the mid to low 70s on each and every 32 team, however many teams are in the MLB. I don't know right now. And I took that and I went into a roster on just the regular base game, and I made the exact roster. I player moved every single person onto that exact roster. I did this physically by hand for every team in the MLB to get it exactly how it was for this series. Yeah, I did that. It took so long. So that's the main reason why this series has taken so long to get episode number 2 out, is because I physically made the roster by hand, putting every single individual player on the team that they were on in the series, in the episode number 1. And I did that for every single team. So now I finally did it, and then I restarted the save. I loaded everything back up. Technically, in this save, there's never been a fantasy draft, because I basically just did the fantasy draft for the game by myself. So some things may be different. There may not be some young prospects on some of the teams, but I kind of just gave up on the 72 to lower players, and just kept them on whatever roster or whatever team they were on in the original roster. So that's what I've done for this series. I hope you guys do appreciate it, because it took me forever to do that. Putting every single individual player on the team that you got drafted by for this save was not a fun thing to do. And then I loaded it back up. I turned off ignore budgets, because when you're dealing with legends in MLB The Show, you just can't have salary on. It just screws up everything. So there will not be salary, but we won't go crazy. This will be like the Bills series, or any series that I do on the channel, where I have to turn off the salary cap eventually, but I never really go crazy with it. I don't spend like $100 million on some player or something like that. So unless it's deserving, obviously. So we won't go crazy on spending money in this series. Hopefully not, at least, unless we're trying to get like Babe Ruth and we have to give him $500 million. I don't know. But that's what I've done for you guys in this series. I hope you guys do appreciate it, because it took a lot of hard work. I also made some trades that you will notice when we get into the roster. Once we start getting into it, I'll do like a mashup clip of me trading for these guys, because I recorded me trading for some of the main guys, and then after that we'll go into the transactions, and I'll show you guys what I've done fully. So because I didn't record some of the trades, but they were just for like some younger guys that didn't really matter. So let's finally get into it. After all this waiting, after all this explanation, all the hype is over. Let's finally get into episode number 2 of the New York Yankees Legends Fantasy Draft Series here on the World of Juice channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 400,000. No, we are not. We are not on the road to 400,000. I wish we are on the road to 400. We are on the road to 400. Subtract those 3 zeros at the back. We are on the road to 400. I don't know why I said 400,000. I guess I've been watching too many YouTubers who have over almost 400,000. So we are on the road to 400 subscribers. Help me get there by smashing that subscribe button and hitting that like button as well. Let's get into it. All right, here we are. We are in the save. We are at the main menu. Let's go. Let's not waste any time. Let's go straight up to the roster and take a look at what we have. Because at the end of the last episode, I really didn't go into in-depth talking about some of the players that we have on this team. Now, the first thing you may notice is that there's a couple new players. Like I said, we have Ivan Pudge Rodriguez as our new catcher. We also have Frank the Tank Thomas on the team. We also have a younger version of Tony Gwynn. Now, I'll go in and I'll show you guys the clips. Well, you know what? Let's do it now. Let's, Editor Juice, show the boys all the highlights of me trading for the new players right now.
Yes, sir. 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 Yes, sir.
All right. Now that Editor Juice, good job, by the way. Now that we've done that, you've seen all the players that I've gotten. Let's go into transactions, completed transactions by the Yankees, and we will go all transaction trades. Okay, so here we go. We'll start at the bottom. You saw the Pudge Rodriguez. We traded Jason Varitek. We traded a prospect, two prospect strong safeties, two prospect shortstops for Ivan Rodriguez. Then we go to Wander Franco, the young prospect from the Tampa Bay Rays in real life, shortstop. We traded him from the Brewers. We traded one of my higher rated shortstops in Colt Tucker, Kirk Casale, and then Trey Ambrugi, a right fielder prospect. Because we're not really going to be dealing with a lot of prospects in this series. We're going to be trying to focus more on the legends, because that's what the series is. This isn't a prospect rebuild fantasy series. This is a legends fantasy series. So we're going to be focusing more on the legends. The prospects don't really matter that much, and plus the legends are young too. So let's go to the next one. And plus, Wander Franco is like the best prospect in the major leagues right now, so I had to get him on the team. Then we go to Frank Thomas. We got him from the Athletics. We traded old Jim Thome, so that was kind of a steal. Rodney Presley and Billy Hamilton. So we lose a little bit of that speed in the outfield, but we get Frank Thomas, who's much appreciated. Then we go to Shohei Ohtani, because you know how I love me some Shohei Ohtani. I love me some pitchers who can also hit the baseball as well. We get him from the Diamondbacks. We had to trade Matt Crook, Max McDowell, and Andrew Velasquez, but you guys already saw that. Also, Tony Gwynn. We got the younger version of Tony Gwynn by trading away the older, less valuable Tony Gwynn. So we traded him, Paul Graham, and Trevor May. It kind of hurts a little bit that we had to trade Trevor May because we didn't really have a lot of reliever depth in the first place, but I needed to have good Tony Gwynn. So we got him on the team. I also went and got young prospect Josh Jung for third baseman from the Rangers. We had to trade Manny Alvarez, Charlie Aitken, and Sean Semple. So we got Josh Jung. So hopefully him and Wander Franco down the line in this series can be like the stalwarts of our left side of the infield. Then we got Jonathan India from the, funny enough, the Reds. he was a second baseman. He's a Pirate, so we had to get him. Justin Piper, Floyd Tatum, and Yoendrys Gomez are the players that we sent back to Cincinnati. We got Hunter Green, because I am a big fan of Hunter Green, also from the Reds. Starting pitcher, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Starting pitcher, we had to trade Donnie Sands, Michael King, and Jules Chaus. I'm sorry, boys. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Jules Chassin? Julius? I'm sorry. That's one of the names that I have no idea how to pronounce. But he's not on the team anymore, so I don't have to worry about it. We got Hunter Green back. Then I think that's the start of the ones that you didn't see, because we also have Daniel Espino and Ethan Hankins. I got a couple really highly rated 70 overall starting pitcher prospects in return for Mike Zunino, Julius Gomez, and Nestor Cortez Jr. So I'm really working a little bit on the depth of the prospect position. We'll take a look at the top 50 prospects here in a second. I got Israel De La Cruz from the Tigers for Brody Coroner. I think he's like a 50 overall or something, but he's a top 50 prospect, or at least he has the potential to be a top 50 prospect, and he's a good closing pitcher that we have a chance at growing. And the final move that I made was Vidal Bruin from the Rays. I traded Tyler Lyons, Brian Triglaff, and Nicholas Pereira to the Rays for Vidal Bruin. So those are the moves. I know it seems like a lot of moves, but I had to do it. I like the roster that we have now. Take a look quickly. You know what? Let's go to the top 50 prospects before I forget. So the first top 50 prospect is Joe DiMaggio. Obviously, the legends that I added are going to be more highly rated prospects than the actual prospects in the game. Sooner we start getting down into those guys, like right here is where we start getting to the actual prospects. So we have Wander Franco in a top 50. He's ranked 38th right now. Obviously, this will change. He's the only one we have so far. But once these guys start to not be considered top 50 prospects, then our guys will start to grow. We also have Barry Bonds, but he doesn't really count. So that is the top 50 prospects. Let's take a look at the pitching rotation. We've got Nolan Ryan. I tried to move Nolan Ryan, but I just couldn't find anybody or find the right situation to let him go. So we still have Nolan Ryan on the team. We got Sonny Gray, Hyun-Jin Ryu, Jameson Taillon, and now Shohei Ohtani as our starting rotation, with Marcus Stroman coming off into the bullpen. Our relievers, I like this bullpen. I really do like this bullpen with Mariano Rivera as the closer, Andrew Miller as a setup guy, Amir Garrett, who throws really hard, David Hernandez, Dylan Betances, Alex Colomb, and Marcus Stroman coming out of the bullpen. I like this bullpen. I think it's a solid bullpen. AAA, we've got Trevor Williams, Anthony DeSclafani, Riley Smith, Edinson Volquez, and Hunter Green as our AAA starters. Nobody really that important in the bullpen. And then here it is. We've got the AA pitching rotation as Daniel Espino, Lucas Gill, Alexander Viscanio, and Ethan Hankins as our starting rotation, along with Clark Schmidt. And then in the bullpen, we've got Israel De La Cruz as a setup guy. He's not ready to go for closer just yet because he's only 50 overall, so he's not ready for that yet. But I'm really excited about the pitcher rotation down in AA. We're going to have to keep a track of that. Moving on to the lineups for the major leagues. We've got, I think I've already set this. Yeah, it looks like I've already changed this a little bit. It might have gotten messed up with Frank Thomas now. We'll move Frank Thomas there. All right. So we're going to be leading off with Tony Gwynn. Obviously, if you have Tony Gwynn on your team, you're going to be leading off with him. He's a great leadoff hitter. He's got great speed, good contact, so he is going to be our leadoff guy. Then we've got Derek Jeter. We've got Ken Griffey Jr. as our third guy. Batting cleanup is Barry Bonds because he's got 99 everything, basically. Then we got David Ortiz, Big Papi, as our DH. Frank Thomas as our first baseman. Papi was our first baseman, then I changed it to Frank Thomas because David Ortiz is really more of a DH anyway. Then we got Chipper Jones, old man Chipper Jones, but hopefully he can still get the job done for us. Then our new catcher, Pudge Rodriguez, and Joe Morgan hitting in the 9-hole for versus DHs. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Now, I know, Juice, you're probably saying, Juice, why'd you get Shohei Ohtani when you're in the American League and he doesn't get to hit? Because in MLB Show 20, if you're not aware, you probably are aware, you can put pitchers in spots like this. So you don't have to worry about having a bench that isn't fulfilled. So in theory, you could have all the best hitting pitchers on your bench, and you could play them in any position. So that's one of the main reasons why I got Shohei Ohtani. Also, he can play in the outfield. So if we take a look at his player card, he can play all the outfield positions. So if Tony Gwynn or Ken Griffey Jr. or Barry Bonds needs a break, Shohei Ohtani can fill in that role along a DH. If Poppy needs a break, Shohei Ohtani can come in there when he's not pitching. So that's one of the reasons why I got Shohei Ohtani. Plus, he's so versatile. On the bench, we've got Alex Avila, Robinson Cano, not the yet legend Robinson Cano, the old man Robinson Cano, the one that's been tested positive for PEDs twice and been suspended. David Peralta, Justin Upton, Nelson Cruz, the good version of Nelson Cruz, not the old version. We had the old version, but I traded him for the new version or the younger version of Nelson Cruz. So that is our bench, along with some of the pitchers, obviously. I like this team. I like it a lot more than when I drafted it. With these moves that I made, I think we are a World Series contender. Our lowest position is Derek Jeter, and he's just going to grow because he's only, oh wait, no, I'm going to change that. He's not supposed to be 31 years old. I don't know why it says he's 31. He's not supposed to be 31. I'll change that back to 19 or 18 because that's what he's really supposed to be in this save. So he's young. We've got Barry Bonds, who is young at 18. Big Papi is 30, but that's okay. He won't last that long. 26-year-old Frank Thomas. This is going to be fun. Ken Griffey Jr. is only 27. Joe Morgan, 32. Pudge is 27. Chipper is 36, the old man, Chipper Jones. Taking a look at the AA lineup, I'll just auto-generate this because I don't really care that much as long as we get some of our guys some playing time. So we get our whatchamacallits, top 50 prospects in there. And then starting at the AAA level, as long as Wander Franco and Josh Jung and Jonathan India are getting playing time, that's all that really matters because they need to develop very much so that they can come up in the bigs and be on the bench. And maybe even, who knows, maybe even start some games for us. But that's not all this video is going to be. We are going to get into opening day here at Yankee Stadium. Who doesn't love opening day, especially at Yankee Stadium? Nolan Ryan versus the Blue Jays, Max Scherzer. Let's take a quick look at the Blue Jays roster. Do a little bit of scouting report on who they have. They have Gary Carter, Willie McCovey, Brooks Robinson, Bo Jackson, Jim Edmonds, Max Scherzer, Jack Morris, Dante Bichetti, Frankie Lindor, Lucas Giolito, Colton Wong, Xander Bogaerts. All right, so they don't have a crazy team. Nothing that I should be scared about, I wouldn't think. Bo Jackson's probably pretty scary. He's very fast and very big, so he's probably going to be pretty scary. But they only have 3 99s. How many 99s do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 99s. Okay, so yeah, we got more. We probably have more 99s than a lot of teams. But without further ado, let's get into opening day against the Toronto Blue Jays at Yankee Stadium. Nolan Ryan versus Max Scherzer. It's a legendary matchup. I hope you guys do enjoy. If you do, make sure to smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. We're on the road to 400 subscribers. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, join the Juice Club, and let's get to it, boys. Let's play some baseball.
It's time for baseball here on The Show. Opening day is here as we get the new season underway with a good matchup between the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. Hi again, everybody. It's finally here. Welcome to our special opening day edition of Baseball on the Show. I'm joined by Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac. The staffs for these two teams sure to be a focal point as this series moves along.
Hey, just like any team, pitching is going to be the key factor for this ball club as the year plays out. I'm sure the staff will have its ups and downs, but putting together some quality outings early in the season could do wonders for this club getting out of the gate with a good start.
The game's count starting now. It's opening day. It's The Show. And it's coming up next. Nolan Ryan gets the call to pitch here on opening day in front of the hometown crowd. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
Hey, looking at the numbers, you can see this guy had an ERA over 4 last season. He'd like to do a lot better than that. He's got to do a much better job of keeping base runners off the bases. Cut the walks down and try to limit the hits per 9 innings pitched.
And now,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, opening day here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. We got Nolan Ryan up on the mound. I got to tell you, it's a little bit weird seeing some of these guys in Yankee uniforms, like Big Papi, Ken Griffey Jr. Little bit weird seeing some of them in Yankee pinstripes, but we'll get used to it as we start winning championships with them, that's for sure. Dante Bichetti up, and hopefully we can get a strikeout here, game number 1, batter number 1. Ooh, okay. Okay. Thought he'd go for that. I'm gonna dip him with a 12-6. He's not gonna see this. He's not gonna see this coming. He didn't see it coming. And Pudge misses the tag, but we are gonna throw him out at first. Frank Thomas is there. That's out number 1. It's a long season, but that's out number 1. The way this series is gonna work is gonna be probably a month, maybe 2 per season or per episode. We're going to play a game, maybe do some critical situations, and then we will simulate the rest of the games just so we can move through. You guys don't really care about the long, arduous playing every single game of a series or of a season. So we're gonna move through pretty quickly so we can get to the fun stuff like free agency, the draft, all that kind of stuff. So that's how this series is gonna work. Not this episode. We're only gonna probably do maybe this game, and then in the next episode we'll start off by simulating. Ooh, nice pop up by who was that at bat? I don't even remember who that was at bat. But he pops out to right field. But this episode will probably end after this game, and then because I did so much talking at the beginning of the video, so we'll do that, and then Derek Jeter's going to get this out, and we'll be done 1, 2, 3. All right, so good opening inning, half inning for us. But then the next episode we'll start by simulating, and then we'll go about a month and a half maybe throughout the season. So that's how it's going to work from there.
Stepping up is Tony Gwynn. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
All right, Tony Gwynn up to the plate to lead off for the first time as a Yankee. Oh, and they're giving me hot cheese right off the bat. Tony Gwynn, a leadoff single, blooper into center field. All right, so we start off good. Nice hit by Tony Gwynn. Now we got Jeter up. Jeets. You know what? Let's take a bag here on opening day with Tony. Get there, Tony. Get there, Tony. No! Come on, Tony. You've got amazing speed, and you get thrown out at second. All right, not the way we wanted to start this game. No, hold up. Wait, that is not a strike call. Are you watching the same pitch that I just watched? See, what happened was I check swing that, and it didn't check swing that. All right, we got Griffey up now. This inning is turning out to be not as good as I was hoping for. I should have knocked that out of the park. That should be in the stands, in the second level, but I was very early on it. I got too excited for it. After this first inning is over, you guys will see just highlights. I'll just go through the game and play it, and I'll show you guys if something amazing happens, but it doesn't look like something amazing is going to happen in this inning. Nope. So, all right, I'll see you guys when something good happens.
Yanks held in check. We are still scoreless.
Striking out Bo Jackson. Let's go. Boom, 4 strikeouts already, 4 Ks. Caught you in 4K.
Now another 1-2. High in the air out to center field. And he will make
The streak ends at 7 straight strikeouts. I thought I was going to get 3 straight innings where I was going to get the side retired by strikeout, but Frankie Lindor pops it out to center.
Here it is again with the show track.
And there goes the perfect game.
First hit in this one for the Blue Jays.
I left that 12-6 hanging a little bit, and Starlin Castro makes me pay for it. The perfect game out the window.
Next, 9 out of 10 times somebody's there to make that play.
Yes, Tony Gwynn pops it into center. That's going to be a run. Chipper, get in there. Get home, Chipper. Let's go. We start the game. Our bats have been a little bit quiet today on opening day. We're just a little bit rusty, knocking the spring training rust off. But we finally open the scoring with Tony Gwynn. Let's go.
He's set. Here's the 0-1. Popped him up. Castro.
That's going to be a pop-out, but I might try this. No. I thought I might try it. I got a little too crazy on that one.
This guy at the plate should assume nothing but heaters.
There we go, Griffey knocking in another run. 2-0. And the way Nolan Ryan's been pitching today, they're not getting out of this 2-0 lead. Or we're not giving up this 2-0 lead. Good job, Griffey. What a hit. What a hit.
Two-out base hit to drive in a run. Yeah, you watch your teammate in front of you miss his pitch. He got a nice pitch to hit right there and pops it up. You could tell he was dejected.
And Barry Bonds, bases loaded. Barry Bonds, bases loaded for Frank the Tank Thomas. I'm not going to cut away from it. Oh, no, for Big Papi. Excuse me. For Big Papi. David Ortiz. I'm not going to cut away. This is live action. Oh, baby. Did I think that was gone. All right, but we open the scoring with 2 runs. We should have the game now. Oh, there it is. I'm sending Frank. I'm sending Frank. Get there, Frank. Get there, Frank. Let's go. The bats are opening up now, boys. That's 3-0. Joe Morgan.
That's a big RBI right there to stretch this lead. The discipline has just been completely absent from this offense. Seems like they're always finding themselves behind the count, and a big reason why is they're swinging at all kinds of.
What are you doing, Bo? Bo, what are you doing?
And they'll get him at second, and with that, the side is retired.
Bo had an easy single up the middle, and he goes 2 for some reason. What are you? Oh,
to the outfield would be a big one right here. Don't try.
that one might be gone. Chipper might have got it. Bo Jackson! Chipper had a 3-run dinger, and Bo Jackson steals it. Chipper had a 3-runner. Oh, no. All right, this is the final out of the game. Well, final hitter of the game, hopefully. 16 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan on opening day. A 3-run game. And Bichette's going to get caught by the ball boy there. I'm going to throw this one down and in outside. He's going to ground it to Frank and tag the bag. And the Yankees win on opening day 3-0. Nolan Ryan with the complete game shutout. Had a perfect game through 6 innings, but I think it was Frankie Lindor that ended that. But that was a good day. It took us a little bit to get the bats going, but once we started to warm up a little bit, that 6th inning, we started to really cook, and then later on, we just kept going and going, and we really dominated that game, and especially Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan really dominated with 16 strikeouts in the game. Impressive. He went 9 innings, 2 hits. He threw a 2-hitter. All right, I like that. I like that. We are off to a good start here. Let's go finish out this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap things up here. This series is off to a hot start, and in the next episode, we will simulate the rest of the month of April. We'll get to the month of May, probably play one of these away games here, maybe against the Rays or against the Orioles or the Rangers, either one, somewhere around there where whoever has a good-looking team. And then we will, at the end of that video, we will simulate the rest of May, maybe a little bit into June. We'll probably, at the end of that video, we'll probably get to the draft by then, that's probably where we'll be. And then we'll go on the road and play Boston in the video after that, because I love playing at Fenway Park. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next couple episodes. Make sure you stick around, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. We're on the road to 400 subscribers, so make sure to smash that subscribe button and join the Juice Club. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!